They thought they'd buried the truth forever. But we dug it up. And when we found what they'd stolen, we didn't just want justice. We wanted to end them. After Mr. Cole's confession, Lena moved fast. She filed preliminary motions, froze assets connected to Victor's fraudulent transactions, and subpoenaed banking records. But the biggest breakthrough came when she uncovered something unexpected: a safety deposit box at First Southern Bank in Dad's name. We held our breath as the manager opened it. Inside was a single envelope, yellowed with time, addressed simply to, for Ava, Eli, Noah, and Caleb. To be opened only if I cannot tell you myself. My hands shook as I read my father's handwriting for the first time in years. My dearest children, if you are reading this, I am gone. I wanted to be there to see you grow, to teach you what I know, but life had other plans. Know this: everything I built for you. The trust I have left is not just money, it is a promise that you will always have a foundation to build your dreams. But wealth is nothing without the values to guide it. Love each other, protect each other, and never forget that your worth is not measured in dollars, but in how you live. Ava, I know the weight will fall on your shoulders. You are stronger than you think. Lead with integrity. Eli, you have my mind for responsibility. Use it wisely. Noah, your laughter will carry this family through storms. Don't lose it. Caleb, you have the gentlest heart I have ever known. Guard it, but never let the world harden it. I love you all, always. Dad. I pressed the letter to my chest, tears streaming down my face. For the first time, I felt like he was with us again, not just in memory, but in purpose. Victor and his crew didn't take our lawsuit quietly. First came the intimidation. Jonas lurking outside our apartment at night, his car idling on the street. Anonymous calls telling me to drop the case or else. One evening, we came home to find our door kicked in, paper scattered, and a note on my pillow. Some secrets should stay buried. Lena reported everything to the police, but without proof, there was little they could do. So we adapted, changed routines, installed cameras, and refused to back down. They're scared, Eli said one night as we reviewed documents at the kitchen table. If they weren't, they wouldn't be trying so hard to silence us. He was right, and that fear gave me strength. Over the next 6 months, we built an ironclad case. Lena unearthed corporate records proving Victor had liquidated my father's 40% stake in Sinclair Freight Solutions and funneled the money into shell accounts. Insurance documents showing Elise's $2 million policy was cashed by someone forging my father's signature. Banking statements tracing stolen funds to properties, cars, and investments under Victor, Margot, and Jonas's names. The final piece was Mr. Cole's sworn affidavit confessing to destroying the original will under their orders. The day Lena filed our full lawsuit, the media picked up the story. Orphan siblings accused relatives of stealing $100 million fortune. Suddenly, everyone wanted an interview. We declined them all. This wasn't about fame. It was about reclaiming what was ours. 2 weeks before trial, Victor requested a family meeting. Against my better judgment, Lena agreed, on neutral ground, in her office, with everything recorded. Victor walked in first, still dressed like success itself, tailored suit, polished shoes. But I saw the cracks, the tightness around his eyes, the sweat at his temples. Margot followed, fidgeting with her designer bag. Jonas came last, silent and coiled like a spring. Ava, Victor began, voice honey smooth, we don't have to do this. Let's work something out. Work something out? I repeated coldly. Like you worked out stealing our home, our inheritance, our childhood? Margot jumped in, voice saccharine. We were only trying to protect you. You were too young, too naive. "Spare me," I snapped. "You left us in a basement while you lived off our money." Victor's mask slipped. "You think you can take us down? We built connections you can't imagine." Lena smiled thinly. "And we have evidence you can't erase." Jonas leaned forward, voice low and threatening. "Drop this, or you'll regret it." I met his gaze without flinching. "The only thing I regret is not fighting you sooner." Victor slammed his hand on the table. "Fine, we'll see you in court." The night before trial, we gathered in our tiny living room one last time. The boys were men now. Eli preparing for college, Noah taller than me, Caleb with a musician's calloused fingers. But in that moment, they were still my little brothers, and I was still the 19-year-old who'd promised to keep us together. "You nervous?" Noah asked. "Terrified," I admitted. Eli put a hand on my shoulder. "We've got this. Together." Caleb's voice was quiet but steady. Dad would be proud. I looked around at them, the family I'd fought for, bled for, and felt something settle inside me. Tomorrow, we weren't just going to win back what was stolen. We were going to show the world what resilience looked like. Victor Kane thought his power could bury us. What he didn't know was that we'd spent years learning to rise from nothing. This is how we ended it, once and for all. The courthouse buzzed with reporters, photographers, and curious onlookers. The headline had spread everywhere. Siblings sue relatives for $100 million estate fraud. I walked in with my brothers at my side. Eli in a borrowed suit, Noah standing tall and uncharacteristically serious, Caleb clutching the letter from Dad in his pocket. We weren't just 4 kids from a basement anymore. We were the Sinclair family, and we were here to reclaim our name. Across the aisle, Victor, Margot, and Jonas sat with their high-powered attorneys, trying to look confident. But I saw the tension in their posture, the way Margot's hand trembled slightly as she adjusted her pearls. Lena's opening statement was a masterclass. "Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this case isn't just about money. It's about betrayal. These defendants stole not only a fortune, but also the childhoods of 4 orphan children. They left them in poverty while they lived in luxury off what did not belong to them. Today, we are here to right that wrong." Victor's lawyer tried to spin a different story, painting them as concerned guardians who had acted in the children's best interests. It might have sounded convincing if not for what came next. Lena called witness after witness. Mr. Cole, who confessed on oath to destroying the will at Victor's request, his voice cracking as he admitted, "I ruined those kids' lives for money." Dad's former business partner, who testified about the $3 million partnership stake stolen by Victor. A forensic accountant who traced every stolen dollar to the Kane's lavish lifestyle, vacation homes, luxury cars, investment portfolios. Then Lena dropped the bombshell, the letter from Dad. She asked me to read it aloud. My voice shook at first, but grew stronger with each word. "Ava, Eli, Noah, Caleb, I built everything for you. Protect each other, love each other. And remember, your worth is never measured by money, but how you live." When I finished, the courtroom was silent. Even the judge looked moved. Next came my brothers. Eli took the stand first. Calm, articulate, he told the jury about years of sacrifice, about how a 19-year-old girl became a parent overnight. She gave up her education, her youth, everything, so we could have a chance, while they lived off what was ours. Noah followed, his natural charm shining through even in grief. He made the jury laugh with stories of pancake Sundays and indoor camping, then brought them to tears, describing the nights we went without heat. We didn't need riches. We just needed what was rightfully ours. They took even that. Finally, Caleb, now 17, stood before the court. His voice was quiet, but carried to every corner of the room. I used to wake up crying, thinking we'd never be okay again, but my sister kept her promise. She saved us. They tried to break us, but we're still here. Not a single juror looked unmoved. Victor took the stand, full of arrogance at first, but under Lena's cross-examination, his facade cracked. "Mr. Kane," she said, pacing slowly, "you claim you didn't know about the trust?" "That's correct." "Then how do you explain these transfers?" She displayed bank records showing millions funneled into his accounts days after Dad's death. Victor stammered. "Those were business reimbursements. And this $200,000 payment to Mr. Cole, labeled consulting fee? I don't recall." "You don't recall paying a lawyer to destroy a will?" Silence. The jury didn't miss it. Margot broke on the stand, sobbing as she admitted, "We knew about the money. We thought they couldn't handle it." Jonas refused to testify. It only made them look guiltier. The jury deliberated for just 3 hours. "We find for the plaintiffs on all counts." I exhaled for what felt like the first time in years as the judge awarded us full control of the trust, now valued at $127 million, additional punitive damages for fraud and emotional distress, legal costs covered by the defendants. But the greatest victory wasn't financial. It was watching Victor's face as the judge read Dad's letter aloud in full for the record, declaring it a testament to what kind of man he was and what kind of family we had become. Karma finished what the verdict started. Victor lost everything. His assets seized, his reputation ruined. He lives alone now, a cautionary tale of greed. Margot left him, her social circle evaporating overnight. Jonas went to prison for 5 years for financial crimes and intimidation. We didn't celebrate their downfall. We didn't need to. We had each other, and that was enough. 10 years later, I stand in the headquarters of the Ava Sinclair Foundation, a glass building overlooking downtown Atlanta. We've helped thousands of families avoid what we endured, keeping siblings together, funding scholarships, supporting kids who have to grow up too fast. Eli runs our logistics division, a brilliant strategist like Dad. Noah coaches youth basketball, teaching kids to find strength in teamwork. Caleb tours the world as a musician, his songs about hope and resilience touching hearts everywhere. And me? I finally learned to dream for myself again. I married a good man who loves me for who I am, not what I have. We have 2 children who know the value of love over wealth. Every Sunday, our families gather for pancakes, still sticky with syrup, still full of laughter. And on the wall hangs Dad's letter, framed, a reminder of where we came from and why we fought. We were never just fighting for money. We were fighting for the promise that we'd made in the dark of that basement apartment. We will stay together. We will make it. And we did.